Hello fellow football connoisseurs and welcome back to the Quick Take. Lots of news to get into today. We have an update regarding Trevoh Chalobah and his future potentially staying at Chelsea. An update regarding the esteemed goalkeeper Kepa Arrizabalaga and a preview for tomorrow's game against Wolves. Before I continue, I would like to quickly remind you I am running a giveaway with OwnASaber.com where at 15,000 subscribers you could be in with a chance at winning the King of London lightsaber, the perfect saber for every Chelsea fan. 3 participants will be chosen and all you have to do to enter is subscribe to the channel and check the pinned comment down below for more information. And with that, on with the video. So, kicking things off with Trevoh Chalobah. Chelsea have decided that Trevoh Chalobah will be reintegrated into the first team setup and given a chance to impress head coach Mauricio Pochettino. Now, of course, there have been a lot of speculation over the January transfer window regarding his future at the club. I think he's still yet to play a game under the new manager. He's been sidelined through injuries and such, and that rehabilitation phrase has been banded around his name for the past few months. But it does look like he will be getting a chance on this side, and honestly, he can't be much worse than Disasi's been recently, and he definitely can't be much worse than Badiashile has been recently. Both of those players have been a bit shaky at Chelsea. Disasi, he came in the summer, and since then, he's been kind of basically played out of position for a lot of the time he's been here. He's been playing at right back. He's not a right back, he's a centre back, but we've had to make do. We've had Cobble on the left side of the fullbacks, Disasi on the right hand side, and then Badiashile, a player who was playing fantastically last season, has had a bit of a rocky start to Chelsea and has given away a few goals, including a goal against Wolves, who are our opponent, of course, if you remember that game on Christmas Eve, where things did not go so well for the Blues away from home at the Molineux. But we'll get into that in just a bit. But Trevoh Chalobah returning to the side at centre-back. What are your thoughts? Do you think he has a long-term future at the club, or do you think he is gone come the summer transfer window? Of course, Chelsea do need to sell. I went over this in the last video about issues with FFP needing to raise £100 million. If Trevoh Chalobah starts getting some regular game time at Chelsea, London side in the Premier League, then that will potentially open him up to potential suitors come the summer transfer window. So maybe this is a play just to increase his value and maybe grow some demand in the English defender. But we move on to news regarding Kepa Arrizabalaga. Now, Kepa has been on loan at Real Madrid, no option to buy for this season, and let's just say he's not exactly a fan favourite over in Spain. Real Madrid have made the decision to not keep Kepa next season. He is going back to Chelsea. This is going to be quite a funny turn of events considering the phrases and the quotes that have come out since Kepa has now joined Real Madrid, including this one here. Kepa, no to Bayern, Real Madrid is Real Madrid. When Real Madrid call, it's easy. I faced Real 3 times with Chelsea. When I arrived at the Bernabeu, I always turned left to the visiting dressing room, but I wanted to turn right to local dressing room, he told Marca. This was on the 6th of September 2023. How this has aged so well. I apologise, Mr. Kepa, but it does look like you'll be returning to the stinks that is Chelsea at the moment. I doubt he'll be here long. I think he'll be moved on. I think Chelsea are asking for around £17 million for him. Obviously, Real Madrid didn't want to cough that up. We may even have to lower that down, and we'd spent around $70 million for him anyway, so taking another big loss on a player signed under the previous regime, and one of the worst signings under that previous regime, especially for the price. But it does look like he is returning to Chelsea after all the things he said, so I'm sure he'll be walking into a very welcoming and very not awkward dressing room at all. We also have this from Jamie O'Hara. I can't believe they haven't phoned John Terry. I know he does stuff with the academy. He's in and around the club. He should be in the dressing room. He should be first team coach or assistant manager. He knows what it means to play for Chelsea. First team coach, no. Assistant, I wouldn't mind him being assistant. I don't know about you guys. In terms of bringing tactics, I don't think we'd be bringing him in for that reason. Maybe helping out with the defensive structure. Chelsea are not too bad defensively, but there has been moments, especially against Wolves, where we have looked out at sea, I think is the best way to describe it. Discombobulated at the back in terms of positioning, in terms of man marking, and I think John Terry adding himself to that fold and giving that insight into what a world-class defender's thinking and helping these basically young defenders coming through, I think it'll be invaluable. I mean, he could be the Qui-Gon Jinn to Obi-Wan Kenobi for players like Levi Colwill and players like Alfie Gilchrist, who John Terry has actually spoken well of in the past. But I do think we do need a figure like John Terry in that dressing room, working with these players day in, day out, and not letting standards slip, because we've seen it after games in training. We lose games. I think it was after the Liverpool game. We're in training, we're all smiles, we're all giggles, everything's rosy and fine. Meanwhile, we're sitting mid-table, and John Terry has been there. He's won league titles, Champions Leagues, Europa Leagues, FA Cups, League Cups. He's been there, he's done it. He's worked around some of the best footballers to ever play for Chelsea. He is in fact one of the best players to ever play for Chelsea, and he was the captain during that time. He was the leader in the squad. Something Chelsea are lacking massively right now is leadership, and I think who gets it better than John Terry? But we move on to our preview for Chelsea versus Wolves. Now, of course, I did mention the Christmas Eve fixture where Chelsea did lose 2-1. Now, Chelsea did go 1-0 down shortly into the second half from a header from Mario Lemina, and then 2-0 down in the 90th plus the third minute, with a consolation goal coming 3 minutes later from Christopher Nkunku, a header assisted by Raheem Sterling, a nice cross. Nkunku completely left unmarked in the box, and it really was a consolation goal. But that game was just filled with chances that Chelsea really should have taken. The one that comes to mind immediately is the 3 versus 1, where Raheem Sterling, Cole Palmer, and I think Nicholas Jackson are running through on goal. Raheem Sterling has the ball. He's got Cole Palmer to his right. He can easily square it. Then we're back in the game. And what did he do? He just kicks it straight at Jose Sarr. Chelsea, of course, coming out in their usual 4-2-3-1 shape with Levi Colwill at left back, Thiago Silva, Disasi partnering each other with Malagus on the right-hand side. Picked up a yellow card that game. Leslie Ugochukwu starting. I think Caicedo was ill that game. Conor Gallagher alongside him in the double pivot. Wow, that's disgusting. Ugochukwu and Conor Gallagher in the double pivot. Jesus. Cole Palmer, Nicholas Jackson, Raheem Sterling all picking up yellow cards. Nicholas Jackson, of course, this season known for picking up yellow cards, and it does look like the Senegalese striker is back in action for Chelsea with this game tomorrow, Sunday, 2 o'clock kickoff, not being broadcast in the UK for no good reason, in my opinion. Amanda Breuer starting up front in that game. Of course, he's now gone on loan to Fulham, but I do have my own lineup. Now, this I don't think is what we're going to see, but this is what I would play if I was in charge. So we got Petrovic in net here with Chilwell on the left-hand side of the defence. At left back, Badiashile and Thiago Silva at centre back, and Malo Gusto starting at right back. I think he's back fit. Moises Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez in the double pivot. I would love for them to be used correctly, and I think with my additions to the attack that we can make, I think Nkunku is now back fully fit. We may see Enzo Fernandez and even potentially Moises Caicedo used in the way that they should be used. McCallum Mudryk starting off the left-hand side may be controversial. I'll explain in a minute. Christopher Nkunku starting at number 10 and Cole Palmer off the right-hand side with Nicholas Jackson starting at striker. Now, I did mention McCallum Mudryk. Some of you may be against that decision to start him in a game like this, but in my opinion, in order to develop a player and for a player to actually improve, you play him. And we don't really have much choice on the left-hand side other than Raheem Sterling. But to be honest with you, I don't think Raheem Sterling deserves to start, especially after that last performance against Wolves. And this is a must-win game for Chelsea. We really need to get some momentum going because we had some good fixtures in the past few games, although they're against lesser opponent. I really think it gave us a false sense of security as to where we are. Now, you see the starting lineup here. It will not hold the 4-2-3-1 shape, in my opinion. If we're going to get the best out of Christopher Nkunku, he's going to push up slightly higher to be basically level with Nicholas Jackson, with Cole Palmer tucking in a bit, McCallum Mudryk keeping the width, and then Enzo Fernandez falling into that half space between Caicedo, Palmer, and Mudryk. So he's not as far back as Moises Caicedo is, but he's not playing second striker. That is where Christopher Nkunku comes in. Malo Gusto pushes up the field. Thiago Silva moves slightly over to the right. Badiashile more central. Maybe these guys switch over. I'll switch these guys over here. And then Chilwell is kind of moving forward as well, but not as far as someone like Malo Gusto. I do think Chilwell kind of needs to hold the defensive line alongside the likes of Thiago Silva, Badiashile, and Moises Caicedo. I don't want Caicedo to be left alone, though, in that midfield, and I do think Enzo Fernandez needs to keep close with him, but that is how I would set up in game. I think it would provide a lot of chance for Chelsea, a lot of control. Enzo Fernandez, Caicedo working together throughout the press. Chelsea will, of course, dominate possession, and so I think this setup here provides us with a lot of opportunities to attack down the side, along with going through the middle, and of course, with Nkunku and Jackson working together, they can create spaces for each other to make runs in behind, dragging their opponents out, dragging the defenders out of position, and playing a ball through for either one to get on the end of. Of course, Nkunku has been on fire when he has played for Chelsea. He did score against Wolves, and he scored in the last game in the midweek fixture against Liverpool. A nice, lovely tucked away bottom corner finish. But that is just my match preview for Wolves. My score prediction is, I'm going to go 2-1 Chelsea. I think Wolves will go up 1-0, and then Chelsea will score 2 goals after the 60th minute. I think there'll be some adjustments, and I think Chelsea will get back into the game against tired legs of Wolves. But let me know your score predictions in the comment section down below. What do you think about John Terry maybe coming back and working alongside Pochettino in that dressing room environment, helping the team get back on track and reminding them what it actually means to play for Chelsea? Let me know your thoughts on Trevoh Chalobah potentially coming back into the fold, and let me know your thoughts on Kepa Arrizabalaga, whether it be positive, whether it be negative. Let me hear it. As always, if you like the video, like, comment, and subscribe. I've been the Quick Take, and I'll catch you on the next one. See you later.